I'm Alicia.
And I'm Maddie.
And welcome to the Fangirl Diaries, a podcast where we talk about our obsessions,
Reminisce about our teen icons,
and explore the books, movies, and shows that made us the incredibly nerdy 30-somethings that we now are.
Hello, Alicia. How are you on this fine wintry morning?
Cold.
It's
got really chilly, but I've got my warm coffee. It's feeling wintry, and I have a coffee for our coffee break episode.
Yeah.
Which is very appropriate.
And we're going to be talking through today our 12 obsessions of Christmas.
I can't believe that we only managed to limit it to 12. We had like a rough list of about 24. We've had to halve it.
This is kind of a list of things that like feel Christmassy to us, or like Christmas examples of things that we already love, that we're just going to share with you today over our coffee break this morning.
Yeah, we wanted to do a Christmas episode, but we couldn't think of like one key obsession of ours that like was typified by Christmas.
Yeah.
So instead it was like that there's bits of Christmas within different things that we love, and we've decided to list them out in a structured format.
So let's start with, on the first day of Christmas, what do we bring? We are being brought our one true love in the form of period dramas.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So that's it. That Christmas, because a lot of people get to take some time off and go home, or people just generally have a little bit more time for television over Christmas, film and TV. And for me, this is the time to get stuck into some period dramas.
Like a cosy period drama, one that feels like, wintry and lovely and romantic.
I don't know why, even the ones that are like overtly set in a summery kind of time feel Christmassy to me. It's something about if Emma Thompson is in it, and oh man, is she in some of the main ones that we're about to talk about. Like if Emma Thompson is in it, if Judi Dench is in it, you know that it's a sort of Christmassy thing. And some of these period dramas, I'm talking like the quality BBC ones from days
they're
gone
always
by.
BBC. Yeah.
Always
absolutely.
BBC. And some of them are like a 12-disc box set.
Yeah.
And I always just think, now is the time.
Yeah, Christmas is the time for box sets. Do you have a favourite? Do you have one that feels particularly Christmassy?
I have a favourite, but I don't know if it's Christmassy. It's probably the moodiest. Probably feels more November-y. But I love BBC's Jane Eyre, which I think is 4-part.
Yeah.
And it is fantastic.
It does feel dark and moody. I like that for Christmas.
Yeah, it does. I think it's like the 2006 version. And it's absolutely brilliant. And I watch that one sort of every year. But I'll also get out, I suppose Pride and Prejudice feels Christmassy, doesn't it? Anything, those Austen ones where they go to the ball.
And it's about family often as well, isn't it? Like the families and like the relationships and things, which feels like, you're coming home for Christmas.
Yeah, and it's people glancing at each other over posh tea sets. Or, you know what I mean? Like, there's that brilliant line in Pride and Prejudice where Bingley's sister says, we will take a turn about the room. Yeah, it was that sort of language. And it makes me feel festive.
I never really watched Downton Abbey, but I feel like people watch that a lot at Christmas.
Oh my God, Madeline. How have we... wait a second. How have we not discovered that you've never watched Downton Abbey?
I never watched it. Maybe that can go on the list for me to swat up on.
There's just like Christmas joy to be had for you. What? That is so festive. I can't believe I didn't say that one right away.
Maybe that can be a project for me.
It has to be. And that's like a Christmas anomaly because it's not BBC. It's ITV.
True. Yeah.
But it's got to be one of the highest quality things that ITV have ever produced. It's like cinema quality in terms of the way it's filmed. No, you have to watch it. It's just, that is the pinnacle. It's just so good. But
nice.
It's not classic period drama because it's not an adaptation in the way that like your Austen and Dickens and Bronte books are. But yes, Downton Abbey, so festive. We're going to have to watch that like immediately.
Put it on the list.
Put it on the list.
All right, let's move on to the second day of Christmas. And we're being brought 2 decent movies from High School Musical. So there are 3 High School Musical movies and all sorts of spin-offs and TV shows and things, but we love the first one and we love the third one. We forget about the second one So
my God.
the two decent movies of High School Musical feel Christmassy. They have Christmas like at the beginning, right?
Yeah, have New Year's, that's
New
right.
Year's, yeah.
And we should just apologise that some of these categories are extremely tenuous. And we knew we wanted to... Well, we considered High School Musical for our Christmas episode.
Yeah.
And then slightly jettisoned it for Phantom of the Opera. So I think we were clearly in the musical space. And I watched High School Musical the other day. Yeah, I just watched it as like, I'm in my 30s and I just thought, you know what, it's cold now and I'd like to watch something happy. And it's on Disney Plus. I'm so sad. But it's brilliant. And the first one very famously starts, they're on their Christmas break. I think they're at a ski resort or something. They're on vacation, Troy's family, the Bolton family. And it begins with the New Year's Eve party. And he and Gabriella are singing karaoke. And that's the meet cute.
Yes.
And it's brilliant. But yes, we've put two High School Musical movies because when we were in discussion about maybe doing these for a future episode, I just feel like it is universally agreed that the second one sucks.
Yeah. I don't hardly even remember it. I probably only saw it once or twice, whereas the third one I vividly remember and it was excellent.
When we do end up doing that episode, we're going to be mainly focusing on the third one because the third one was the one that sort of convinced you and I that we had to pay attention to these movies. Yeah. We had really dismissed them for a long time. We'd be like, no, that's not for us. That's not serious. We're totally above any kind of.
We love real musicals.
We love real musicals. not these abominations. And then we decided that we
liked it.
We'd been drawn in.
Mostly by Zac Efron.
But you can't not like it. It's so abundantly joyous.
Yeah.
Which I think is why it makes this holiday list.
Yeah.
But yeah, so two High School Musical movies.
On the third day of Christmas, we have been brought 3 rings for the Elven Kings.
Right, and here we're going to take an hour-long detour. Oh my God, we couldn't work out where to put Lord of the Rings in this list. And I know we've already spoken about it for our last episode. But like, why is Lord of the Rings Christmassy to you?
Well, the films came out every year for 3 years, another 3, at Christmas time. And it was like the big movie to go to in December with the family, with friends. It was a Christmas experience, even if the movies are not themselves Christmassy. Although, a little bit of warm and fuzzy vibes. It was a Christmas experience to go to those movies every year for 3 years.
I feel like cinema itself is a Christmas experience, which seems to have been forgotten by the kind of distribution companies and the big movie making bosses, because now big films come out in the summer. There's always like the new Marvel. I know we don't care about Marvel, but like there's always big summer releases.
Blockbuster summer movies.
Yeah, like we had Barbie and Oppenheimer this summer.
Yeah,
Whereas to me, I feel like we grew up in the era when the big releases came out at Christmas. It's always in December. Harry Potter was always in December. But crucially, for the purposes of this list, Lord of the Rings, 1 film per year. And it was always like December 21st. So you'd just broken up from school. And you're right, this was the thing. And because everyone was on vacation, like the whole family went.
Yeah.
And this was of the age where you had to book ahead. You couldn't just rock up at I don't think we even had View Cinemas in that day. It was like the Warner Brothers Cinema in Purley or Croydon or something. And if you hadn't, or you were prepared to queue for 2 hours or something for your ticket, for almost as long as the movie, just to get in. And it was so Christmassy. Like my advent calendar, I'm pretty sure I had an extra, one of those stickers that was like a silver star or something on the door for the 21st.
Oh, on the day the film was released.
Yeah, because we were just desperate for these movies to come out.
And I have photos of like us when we've gone to these movies and we're all like wrapped up in winter coats, like standing by a poster of the film, like outside, like
Do you remember, I've got ones of us standing by. It's either by the poster or we're standing by like the cardboard cutouts.
Yes,
like the life-size cardboard cutouts.
Yeah.
And we're always like trying to stand closest to Aragorn or to like, we're trying like to get in the fellowship in some way in the cardboard cutout. And then even sadder, do you remember that View Cinemas used to have a policy that when the sort of movie hype for whatever it was over, that you could take the cardboard cutout.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I didn't have
one of
just
those.
a cardboard cutout. What I had was those roll, really long posters that they'd like hang up.
Yep.
And I got about 6 of them with all the different characters, Arwen and Aragorn and Legolas, and I had them all around my room like drapes on the walls.
They were like, these are like tapestry-esque banners. The people in charge of the cinema must have thought we were insane, because this little group of us would arrive and sort of, scope out the what kind of cardboard cutouts and banners the cinema had.
And you had to come back at like the right time when they were like kind of done, but it wasn't gone yet.
Yeah, like late January. Yeah. And they'd be like, right, we'll be are you done with that? Could we take that? And they must have seen 2 of us like exiting the cinema trying to balance this giant. I had the big 2 towers one with I think it has either Isengard or Barad-dûr in the background. And then Aragorn's face is pretty big on it. And then for unexplained reasons, so is Arwen's. Like she's barely in that movie. And then everybody else. And this is the size of like 3 humans.
Yeah.
And it just sat in my living room for like my poor parents. I'm so sorry.
I think my mum still has a whole load of that stuff rolled up in the attic, so
I hope so. I really hope so. These things are now like cinema history, so yeah.
Yeah.
But no, Lord of the Rings was the Christmas thing. And then we watch it every year at Christmas, right?
Yeah,
most people do.
Yeah.
This
is always like to rewatch it.
Yeah, if you're going to watch the extended editions, you have to have that kind of Christmas time off.
You need the dark winter hours. You can't be wasting like all your daytime on it, but you can start at 4 p.m.
But it's a good point about it being dark. You need to watch those films at a time when it doesn't make sense to watch them in like August. The filming of it is like if you tried to watch Helm's Deep, but you had like the windows open and it was light outside, it would be completely ruined as an experience. Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, we're going to be talking about the whole of the 2 Towers in an episode in January, so hold on for that, and we will now move on to number 4 Christmukkah episodes.
Oh, it brings me so much joy. Some people will be like, what? And other people will be like, oh my God, Christmukkah! So for any Seth Cohen fans out there, or anyone who watched the OC, this is sort of a bit of a nod to serial TV shows that ran for so long that they had to have a kind of Christmas or Thanksgiving episode.
I feel like lots of dramas and comedies, if they were, especially American ones where they had episodes over the whole year, they'd often have like 22 episodes in a year.
Yeah.
And they would often have maybe a Halloween episode, but definitely a Christmas episode.
I think we also forget that this was how television worked, that because now we can watch Gossip Girl or the OC or something on streaming and you can sit and binge watch the whole thing in like 2 days. Whereas they were shot and structured in such a way that the TV writers were always writing and filming ahead, so it looked like the characters were experiencing the year at the time the thing was released.
As we were experiencing it. So
we
were sitting down to watch our episode of the OC that came out at late December, and it was Christmas, except that we probably actually were watching it 3 months later when it got to the UK.
Yes, that's true.
We were watching the Christmukkah episodes in March.
That's so true. That's true. But they did, so Christmukkah was the classic one because the OC was really the pinnacle of teen American episodic drama that we adored when we were like 14 or 15. And we haven't done an episode on it yet, but we are going to. It's just that when it comes to Christmas, Seth Cohen invents Christmukkah famously, which is a bringing together of Hanukkah and Christmas because Sandy Cohen is Jewish and Kirsten Cohen is, as Seth says, Waspy McWaspson or something, and always did Christmas. So Seth invents this mega holiday where it's Christmas and Hanukkah together. But it is such a perfect demonstration of Seth's slightly off-the-wall character. And so beloved became this concept of Christmukkah that each of the 4 seasons of the OC has a Christmukkah episode. And it is always where, like, the big drama goes down.
Do you have a favourite moment from one?
Oh, well, we were just looking a minute ago at the famous when he starts to introduce it in season 1.
Yeah.
But it's where Anna and Summer both attend this Christmas party and try to offer him their Christmas gift. And the tables have turned because Seth has spent all his life in love with Summer. Suddenly she's realised she wants him too. And while Anna makes Seth a special personalised Christmas comic book, Summer dresses up as Wonder Woman. And there's this whole big thing. And it's fantastic. And Seth is sort of caught between the two of them like a deer in headlights. And it's so funny. So, no, Christmukkah has some of the best writing in terms of those episodes through the OC. But it's such a Christmas joy.
Nice. And now we're going to go on to 525,600 minutes.
No, I forgot what we'd written as 5, and you were like, 5. And I was like, what is it? We could have gone...
It's Rent.
It would have been just that really easy to have gone 5 Gold of Rings and then gone into Lord of the Rings, but I don't think anybody has 5.
No, there's 3.
It's 3 or like 9 or 7.
Yeah,
there's not 5.
No.
Yeah.
So 525,600 minutes is the number of minutes in a year. And it's a famous song from one of my favourite musicals, Rent, which is centred around Christmas. The whole of the first half of the show is basically centred around Christmas. It then goes into New Year, and then the second half basically like is over the course of the next year. But the first half is basically one night around Christmas. So yeah, the whole of the first half is like they're all in big woolly coats, and the kind of chorus sings a lot about Christmas, and it's quite miserable view of Christmas in New York for not very well-off people. But yeah, it's a lot of that kind of city life Christmas atmosphere in that musical.
If you took a picture of the cast standing on the stage, it does look like a Christmas card at the start because they're all lined up. That specifically for that song. Do you remember?
Yeah.
They're all lined up in scarves, gloves, hats, and some of the instrumental arrangement in Rent has some of that Christmassy. There's some bells being used.
They talk about it starting to snow in New York and stuff. Yeah, it's very cold, and but that like serves to highlight like the difficult kind of living situation that they're in. Like they have no heat, they are cold, they are like but it's very atmospheric. But they kind of bring a joy to Christmas between themselves as like characters.
That musical is fantastic, and if anyone listening to this hasn't seen Rent, this isn't something you have to get a ticket to on stage. You can see the brilliant film adaptation. I'm pretty sure that will be on some sort of platform.
There's also a filmed version of the show, which is excellent. It was like the last cast on Broadway, and it's fantastic.
Like the cast at the time, or did they go back and get like Idina Menzel and people?
No, I think they bring them on for like, they would be way too old to play the characters. These are meant to be characters in their like
20s.
19, 20, 21.
Yeah.
So no, it's the final cast that performed on Broadway do the whole show, and it's brilliant.
How have I not seen this?
We'll do it before we do a Rent episode, I'm sure.
I'm going to watch that over Christmas. Oh my gosh. But yeah, the use of Christmas in that serves a function of contrast, because if anyone doesn't know what Rent is about, it's about the AIDS pandemic in New York. And it's extremely dark at times, and it is about poverty and struggle and extremely difficult sort of health journe's of all these various characters. But it is fundamentally set at Christmas.
Yeah, and they bring each other joy and love. Not in a too cheesy way.
No. So Rent makes our Christmas list.
It's our Christmas list. The next one is definitely one for me. It's 6 Doctor Who's.
So this is the time when I'm going to sip my coffee and I'm going to let Maddie explain her love for Doctor Who.
Okay, well, strong Doctor Who fans will already be screaming that there are already way more than 6 Doctor Who's. We're racking up Doctor Who's by the minute at the moment. But the 6 that 6 actors have played Doctor Who since it was rebooted and I started watching it, like the kind of more recent reboots. So we've got Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, Jodie Foster, and the new Ncuti Gatwa, who's going to be amazing. I haven't seen him yet, but he's going to be fantastic because I watched him in Sex Education. Did you watch Sex Education? Oh, so good. So,
wait, how old were you, Maddie, when you say because Doctor Who's been going on for a bajillion years? How old
it was
were you?
rebooted. I couldn't tell you the exact year it was rebooted, but it would have been when we were around 10, I would have guessed.
Okay, and what you watched it on television?
Yeah. So TV, and the concept of Doctor Who is that he's an alien, and he, when he dies, instead of dying, he regenerates into a new face, and that's why we can have different actors playing Doctor Who over the years, and it can go on for forever.
Does he time travel, or did I make that up?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, there you go. There's my one piece of knowledge about Doctor Who.
Yeah, so he has his box. He can travel through time and space as he wishes. Normally with some kind of human companion to bring along and like show them cool things. So that's basically the concept. But the reason that this is so Christmassy to me is because basically since the reboot of it, the like modern era of Doctor Who, they've always had Christmas episodes, but not just Christmas episodes like the OC. They were released and still are released on Christmas Day.
Oh, wow.
And as a family, we would literally stop our Christmas at 5 p.m. and go and watch Doctor Who. It was like we watched the Queen's speech and then Doctor Who for like an hour.
Very different television.
Yeah. And it was just like a Christmas tradition for so many years. To be fair, we haven't done it in the last few years, but for a while there, when both me and my brother were completely obsessed, it was mandatory entertainment on Christmas Day.
Is it still going on?
Yeah, so it's just had big anniversary, and David Tennant came back to play the Doctor for 3 episodes just this month. And then the next episode is the first full episode with the new Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa, who is premiering as the Doctor basically on Christmas Day this year.
So the only time I ever watched Doctor Who was, and I think I've seen one complete episode, but I do have to admit that I bizarrely cried. So I know nothing.
Do you know which episode it was?
No, I know what happened.
Yeah.
But it was David Tennant.
Yeah.
And
the best one.
I think like maybe Izzy had it on or something, and I got drawn into it. And I really liked it, but had no knowledge of the wider Doctor Who premise or universe.
Sure.
But it was David Tennant, and for some reason, he's like, I want to say saying goodbye or something to the character played by who I only knew to be Naughty's pop star, one name Billy. Billy Piper, thank you.
As Rose.
So I only know her as Billy, who famously sang Honey to the Bee. and we all knew the dance in like the 90s. And I was like, oh, Billy's in this. And it was really sad. Like,
that episode,
David Tennant was like leaving. I think they like, are they in love or something? And I was so upset. And I thought, I have no idea what's going on here. But it's really sad.
They have a very extremely close friendship / love. And that episode is seared into my mind as one of the most devastating episodes of television ever created.
Well, that's what I saw.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it affected you. All right, then we're going to move on to, controversially, 7 Harry Potter films / 8.
Yeah.
7 Harry Potter stories.
7 Harry Potter books that then got adapted into, well, 8.
Should have been 7.
Should have been 7 films. That is the only blight, I think, on the kind of Harry Potter run of films, that they did that idiotic thing of splitting the 7th one in half just purely to make more money. Yeah. And it's so upsetting. Yeah. That's so bad. So yes, it's technically 8, but we're going to treat them as 7 Harry Potter books.
This was very similar to the kind of Lord of the Rings vibe, where they were coming out every year, and most of the time it was Christmas. I don't know whether the last ones were all exclusively Christmas, but pretty much they were all winter releases.
The early ones to me, I feel, were a Christmas release. Yeah. And then as shooting schedules changed, or as the directors changed, or when we got to that point where there was 2 instead of 1 for the final one, I think there was like the occasional Easter or summer release, but certainly the first 2. And
the first film has all of that, like, they even have Christmas, I think, and there's like the candles in the Great Hall and all the food, and it's just extravagant, and it's fabulous.
Harry Potter is Christmassy to me, and they have Christmas in it, and Harry is famously sort of uninitiated in any of the Christmas ways because he's been so mistreated by the Dursleys.
Yeah.
Like, he's always spent Christmas...
He doesn't, like, get any gifts.
No! He was always, like, shoved under the stairs.
Molly knits him a sweater for Christmas.
He gets his own sweater from the Weasleys.
Yeah.
And that's right. And he's never had... He has had an even more impoverished Christmas, it turns out, than, the Weasleys, who are not very well off at all, but have this abundance of Christmas joy.
Yeah.
And they get these lumpy sweatshirts and, Molly makes all the food and everything. So the presence of Christmas in Harry Potter, does he ever get a broom for Christmas, or is that for like his birthday or something?
I can't remember the one that Sirius sends him, but he doesn't know it's from
That's right.
Sirius in the third one. Is that Christmas or birthday? Couldn't be sure.
So he gets... his
birthday's in the summer, so it must be Christmas.
It must be Christmas, because he gets... The Nimbus 2000 is in book 1, where he gets that first of all.
He gets
and
the
they're
firebolt.
right, Sirius sends him the firebolt.
At Christmas in the third one must be.
It's either for Christmas, or is it because his firebolt gets destroyed by the Whomping Willow?
Nimbus 2000.
Sorry, his Nimbus 2000 gets destroyed, doesn't it? And then he needs a new one. But I feel I can see in my mind him like unwrapping this gift.
It's the same vibe, isn't it? It's like the great hall and the banquet and the post and the gifts and things.
I just
so nice.
love it. Harry Potter is so Christmassy. And after this, we're going to go back and look up the time at which Harry was sent the firebolt.
All right, we're moving on to 8 Friends Are Frolicking.
8 Friends Are Frolicking.
So there are 8 Friends Christmas episodes, which I think are some of the most iconic Christmas episodes of TV. Similar, to the OC, this is a show that was on all year round, like 26 episodes a season, and just like takes place over the whole course of a year, was coming out over the course of that year, and they always did a Christmas episode. And although there were 10 seasons, the first and last season didn't do Christmas episodes, so there are 8 Friends Christmas episodes for us to go and enjoy over Christmas.
We had to look this up yesterday because we assume that because there's 10 seasons of Friends that there would be 10 Christmas episodes, and there aren't. There's only 8. We almost thought about doing 6 Friends Are Frolicking for each of the Friends characters, but this is just to do with those 8 Christmas episodes, and they are all sublime.
Yeah.
But some of them particularly stand out, like the Holiday Armadillo.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think I just cry with laughter watching that.
It's an iconic costume that could you just recognise it immediately. It's so good.
That's right. Ross wants Ben to know about Hanukkah.
Yeah.
But Ben is only excited he wants to see Santa.
Yeah.
And I think Ross couldn't get a Santa outfit or something. So Chandler goes and gets one. So you have this mad episode where Ross, I can't remember why on earth he's an armadillo. It's like the only thing they had left
costume that he could get hold of.
So Ross is in this like stupid thing, and Chandler comes in as Santa, and someone else is in a costume for some reason. Yeah. Monica is like dressed as Catwoman or something. I don't know why.
Is that the same episode?
Oh no, maybe not. Somebody else is in some sort of costume.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. And then every time it's Christmas, it gives Monica's neurosis the chance to play out because she's so particular about the way they decorate the tree, or the way that you can only use like the specific nice plates no, that's for Thanksgiving. But
yeah, I was going to say the other one that I always remember, but I think is actually a Thanksgiving moment rather than a Christmas moment, is when Monica puts the turkey on her head to try and like cheer up Chandler.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That's right.
But I think that's Thanksgiving and probably would have been like maybe a couple of episodes earlier than the Christmas one.
It's actually great in American TV gets the chance to do. There's always 2 bumper episodes because there's those 2 American kind of holiday. You've got Thanksgiving and Christmas. Gossip Girl does that too. There's always a huge Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
And then Friends, that gives us the opportunity to have things like, do you remember the Thanksgiving episode where Brad Pitt is the special guest?
Yes.
And he hates Rachel.
Oh my God, yes.
And they make the I Hate Rachel club. And Ross is like, I'm not in the club. He's like, you were the president of the club. It's so good. So yeah, these Christmas episodes for Friends and other things are just fantastic.
Yeah. And then on to what is possibly the most iconic Christmas movie, probably in the world, definitely in the UK, 9 Love Actually storylines.
We just knew that we thought about Love Actually just being number one and somehow singing
just like the ultimate.
Actually. It is the ultimate. It doesn't fit into our podcast anywhere else because it's just a beloved film rather than like a fantasy obsession of ours or a book saga or anything like that. But we both love
I could rewatch it every year and I would.
Every year.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I know that like it's another one where, people look back and they go, "Ooh, that storyline's a bit weird. Why is he obsessing over that?" I'm just like, just live in the fantasy lovely Christmas world and enjoy the silliness and the romance and the it's so emotional and the music sweeps you up into all of these 9 storylines. I mean, yesterday we were trying to remember how many storylines there were, and we immediately listed them all off. Like, we could remember every single one of them, looked it up, and we were like, yeah, there are 9. We were right.
We got it right within 30 seconds.
Yeah.
We were like, the one with Colin Firth and the Portuguese lady, the one with Alan Rickman and Emma Thompson, and we just, and we had them, and we listed all 9.
Which is your favourite?
Oh my God. Okay. It's like, which is my favourite versus maybe like, which is the funniest?
Yeah.
Yeah,
true. Some of them are more emotional and sad. Some of them are kind of funny and silly. And that's what makes it so good.
Yeah, some are really a bit insane and slapstick in some ways. And others are really funny. Hugh Grant, when he does the dance.
Yeah.
And he gets caught by his like secretary person. And he's like, yeah, can we move the president to 4 p.m. tomorrow? Something that is so funny. Yeah. Or when they go and sing, he's looking for Natalie at he's knocking on all the doors in Wandsworth.
Yes.
And do you remember the little children open the door and say, "Are you singing carols?"
Yes, and he has to sing, and then his driver starts singing and has this incredible bass voice. It's amazing.
Such a great. He starts doing "Good King Wenceslas once looked out," and then you're right. The driver chimes in like, "On the feast of Eve." And Hugh Grant's face is amazing. Yeah. So I think maybe the present. Okay, which one's yours? Which one's your favourite?
I don't know. Yeah, I also find it extremely difficult. I couldn't give you a straight answer, but I do think that Emma Thompson's acting in that movie is just spectacular, and that storyline feels so real because of her. Whereas some of the, as you say, like some of the storylines are designed to be kind of a bit fantastical and silly and out of this world or a bit funny.
Yeah,
that storyline is just so real.
Yeah, you could almost separate the 9 strands into the ones that are a little bit more emotionally meaningful. So I'd put in that category the Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman storyline for sure. Yeah. Even though there's a lot of like genuine laughter in that one. Like when he goes to buy the necklace and...
Yeah. It's still funny.
The present wrapping scene in Selfridges is so good. With Rowan Atkinson. But there's that one that is emotional. There is the one with the little boy who's lost his mum.
Yeah.
Who loves
Liam Neeson's the dad.
Yeah. Liam Neeson is his stepdad?
Stepdad.
Yeah, and he's trying to bond with Sam.
Yeah.
Is the little boy.
The drum.
And he wants to learn drums.
Scene at the end where he's playing the drums. Oh, it's so good.
And he puts up his finger like number 1.
Yes.
And it's just she's the one. It's so sad. So that's an emotional one, and so is Laura Linney's character.
Devastating and beautiful. That's that storyline.
Where she's been in love with Carl for so long. Do you remember when Alan Rickman asks her, "How long have you worked here?"
Yeah.
And she says like 2 years, so many days and 6 minutes. And he's like, "And how long have you been in love with Carl, our enigmatic chief designer?" She's like, "Approximately 2 years, so many months and X number of minutes."
Yeah.
She's obsessed with Carl, but she spends most of her time caring for her brother.
Yeah.
That is such a sad one. And then what goes in the kind of more slapstick, just purely light-hearted comedy ones? What would go
the guy that goes to America?
Yes.
There's the sweet couple that are like they're not porn stars, they're like sex doubles for films. And
That's right, they're the nudity doubles.
The nudity doubles. They're so sweet and kind of funny. Yeah. The cast is just insane. Like every single one of those people we've just mentioned is now either was already or has become
A superstar.
a superstar.
Yeah, I always forget that it's Martin Freeman in that, and I'm like, wait, aren't you the Hobbit? Hang on a second. So yeah, there's the couple that are the nudity doubles. That's so funny. And the guy, Colin who goes to America. Brilliant. And somewhere in the middle of those two is the Colin Firth one is both slapstick and really poignant.
And it's one of the more dramatic ones, like, you know, the going to Portugal and finding her and running through the streets. And obviously it's fantastical and ridiculous that he would propose after this, like, small time, but it's so romantic and lovely, and the music sweeps you away.
I just love it when she comes to give him coffee outside, like on the patio of the house. And you remember she lifts up the old coffee cup and all the book blows into the pond.
And he's so British about it. He's like, no, it's fine.
Leave it.
I don't have any copies, but she just jumps in the water to try and save it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where he goes. He's like, oh God, it's half the book.
Yeah. But still won't inconvenience her.
And it's so brilliantly done with subtitles because she is saying things that are funny, but he can't understand it. So she's holding up these dripping pages being like, I better not have risked my neck for some shit my grandma could have written.
Yeah.
And he's saying
like,
things
don't worry, it's shit.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like, it's no good.
It's no good. It's no good.
He says, it isn't bloody Shakespeare. It's so great.
Yeah, I love actually the ultimate Christmas movie.
Wait, though, can we, before we move on from that, say, if it wasn't like, let's say your copy of Love Actually, like your DVD was like snapped in half or something, or for some reason it had been like struck off all streaming channels, what would be your other honourable mentions for like Christmas movies that you would just be like, I have to watch this?
My other one that didn't make the list, but I do want to mention, is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh,
I love it so much. And you could call it a Halloween movie, you could call it a Christmas movie. It's either and both.
Yeah.
But it's so good. It's like this little like skeleton that's just been immersed in the world of Halloween for his whole life is like whisked away to Christmas land and is so like amazed by all the joy compared to all the like destruction from Halloween.
Is it a musical?
Then he ends up yes. Then he ends up kind of destroying Christmas accidentally by thinking that he can replace Santa Claus because he's too excited about being Santa Claus, and he ruins everything. But it has to get fixed, and it's just it's dark and emo and classic Tim Burton, but also like quite lovely. It's great.
To me, that would be part of a Tim Burton Christmas twin set with Edward Scissorhands, which is also Christmassy. And you remember there's that beautiful music when they're twirling in the snow and it's snowing. And there's a lot of kind of slightly dark Christmas movies that you could go through. But no, Izzy and I just want to watch The Grinch every Christmas.
Of course, The Grinch.
Or The Holiday.
Yeah.
Those two.
I only watched The Holiday recently. It was not one that I watched growing up.
What did you
watched
think?
It recently. I kind of liked it, but I think I would have liked it more if I'd watched it growing up.
It really rewards a repeat viewer. I don't know why. Like, it's not because it's a complex storyline in any way, but when it becomes cemented as like the film that you get out at Christmas.
Yeah.
And I love that they've managed to offset the glamour of the California narrative where Kate Winslet goes to LA with just how beautiful it's filmed in Sheer.
I mean, it's literally down the road.
It's down the road.
House.
Yeah.
So close.
So true.
Yeah.
Although now I think if you go to see the cottage, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of like tourists taking photos of it.
Yeah, I don't think the cottage is actually like the cottage it was.
Is it not? I think it's like there.
No. I think I remember reading that there is one that it was based on that is there,
Right.
but the actual one was like made to look like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the bit where Cameron Diaz drives the car haphazardly through the parade of shops, that is in Sheer.
That's shit. Yeah. Amazing. All right, we're going to move on to a 10 from Len.
You're going to have to explain this one on your own. This is all you.
It's another one that's all me. Another thing that is synonymous with Christmas in my household is Strictly Come Dancing. Another British institution that has been on TV for, I'm pretty sure, about 25 years now. And it's one of these serial, like kind of reality shows that's got celebrities, and it runs up to Christmas. So I've literally just watched the final this year of Strictly Come Dancing. It's just finished, and it's excellent. They start with like 12 celebrities / minor celebrities who get paired with professional ballroom and Latin dancers to literally learn how to do ballroom and Latin dance. And I love dance. I myself have done like more like swing dance and stuff that's a little bit less structured than ballroom and Latin, but like I feel like an expert because I've watched Strictly for 25 years, and I feel like a lot of people in this country feel the same way. And you just see these people, and some of them are terrible and they never learn to dance. But by the end, you've got people who couldn't do ballroom dancing doing beautiful, incredible, dramatic, wonderful dancing. And it's so Christmassy because it builds up and builds up. And I actually love it more in the later episodes. So often I won't watch, it goes on for so many weeks, I won't watch the first half, but I'll come in about halfway through in November and then build up to like the week before Christmas when the final is, and you've got these like 3 stunningly great couples dancing. And this year was a great year. Ellie who won, and Ellie and Vito. Vito's this like Italian professional dancer who's just hilarious. They really deserved to win, although I thought everyone in the final was amazing. And I think it's so heartwarming because it's just a show. It's a bit like British Bake Off. It's really nice reality TV, and it's like meaningful because they're doing something meaningful. Like in Bake Off, they're actually baking things and it's actually good. They're actually learning to dance. It's not reality show TV where it's just watching people interact. It's like they're really learning a skill and they really do great, and you get to just encourage them and feel happy.
I feel like I would be a better person if I weaned myself off of the Kardashians. Because I've watched every single one of Kris Jenner's Christmas party episode that they do every year, and I'm sure I would love Bake Off or Strictly, but for some reason it's just not been on my like to watch list. But I can see why something like Strictly is Christmassy, because if I do ever catch 10 seconds of it, it's glittery, it's spangly.
Yeah, they got the glitter ball. They have the same. They've had the same hosts, Tess and Claudia, for decades.
Yeah.
And like the judges don't change really very often. It's all the same people, and it's just cozy and as you say, glittery and sparkly. Crazy costumes and big sets, and it's just fun. There is also a Christmas Day episode which I often don't watch because I prioritise Doctor Who over Strictly, and I'm not sure my family would appreciate us just watching TV all evening on Christmas Day. But it's like a one-off episode where they'll just get like random people who will learn to dance, so they don't get as much time to learn to dance. So I really associate the Christmas season with Strictly Come Dancing.
I wonder if this is still a thing for like Gen Z, where it used to be an enormous deal in our house for the Christmas TV guide to arrive. Yes. Like the hard copy one. I think my parents still get it.
We'd like highlight the things we wanted to watch and record. What were we going to be able to see live? What did we have to record on like, the VHS recorder?
Yep. This was a sport because it was appointment television. Yeah. So if you missed the Christmas episode and there would often be like 5 conflicting things at once that had like BBC would be doing its back-to-back, like Christmas special of this, Christmas this. There was things like the Christmas Downton. I know you don't watch Downton Abbey, but that had a Christmas, a whole big thing at Christmas. And so we even had a system, it was like the technology here was that we would have 2 VHS players, one in each room. And like we would agree that like this VHS player would be taping that Christmas special, and then the other one would be taping that one at the same time while we were having dinner or something, because otherwise there was too much. There was too many competing. Totally. And then you would spend the whole run up between Christmas and New Year
like catching up on all the stuff you didn't get to see. I always loved, what's the big quiz, the big fat quiz of the year? I always loved that one between Christmas and New Year. Yeah, I loved that. Anyway.
Yeah, but the highlighting of the TV guide was always a big deal. Definitely.
Deal. All right, then we're closing in on the end here. We've got 11 Muppets acting in The Christmas Carol.
Muppet Christmas Carol actually makes me cry.
Oh,
it's so sad. It's like it's a brilliant film.
It's a brilliant film, and we should just point out that like it's not just like a good it's not just a good Muppets movie, it's like a good version of the Christmas Carol, like as a story,
It's
which
fantastic.
in itself is an institution of Christmas.
Yep.
This version is like fantastic.
It's the weirdest thing that you have this kind of silly Muppet film, and then right in the middle of it, you have Michael Caine giving one of the most severe performances. Yeah. He's like doing an Oscar-worthy performance, but surrounded by these puppets. Like, he's being so serious, but playing against Kermit.
Yeah. It's another example of like how music and musicals just like elevate emotion and storyline.
I cry every time that the little mouse Muppet comes to the door being like, any bread? Or something. Like, he's really hungry, and Michael Caine's character, like Scrooge, like slams the door in his face, and you see him like shivering in newspaper. I just can't take it. It's so sad.
So
but
good.
it's such a brilliant film. That is a quality movie, I think, and incredibly Christmassy. So yeah, Muppet Christmas Carol
Christmas
has
Carol.
to get a mention.
All right, let's end on 12 tons of merchandise as Christmas presents.
So this was just like, yeah, mine and your Christmas lists for years. And I don't know whether this really happens anymore, because I feel like we were children and teenagers of a generation where it was very much, when you're obsessed with something, it was less in the digital realm at that time.
Yeah,
and
you couldn't
more-
obsess over reels of stuff that you loved, and
No.
you find all the images. You really needed to you needed like stuff to be able to like show your love.
You needed merch.
Yeah.
So we must have been so incredibly easy to gift for like 20 years, because our families couldn't have been unaware of whatever it was we were completely obsessed with.
Like anything Lord of the Rings, anything Harry Potter, anything from like this
The
band,
musicals.
from these musicals. Just like, yeah, like diaries with just a pretty shitty put together cover that had like the poster of a book or of Lord of the Rings or something on it.
Well, any kind of anything that was like in the kind of fantasy or sci-fi space or whatever at that time in the 90s or early noughties latched onto this and released things like, I don't know, I had the year 2000 Buffy the Vampire Slayer annual. Do you remember you used to get annuals?
Yes, you get books that were like,
hard
big
copy.
books with like just pictures and text that was describing things in the universe of that thing that you loved.
Yep.
And gosh.
Yeah, I had like every single one. So Lord of the Rings had a billion of these, and there was like the Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, behind the scenes making of book or something.
Loads of those.
Loads of those. Or like the photo guide to the locations in Fellowship of the Ring.
I have still on my shelf the Wicked like grimoire book,
the
which
grimoire.
is huge, like thick thing with like padded cover that's meant to look like this big spell book, and it tells you the whole history of the making of the musical Wicked. It's amazing.
I was going to say, what is your favourite piece of merch
Ooh.
from over the years?
I think it's probably my Harry Potter wand.
Did you not have the Arwen necklace?
I do have the... I mean, I still wear the Arwen necklace.
The Even Star.
The Even Star.
I was like,
do.
I'm sure you have.
I still have that, and I still wear it. It is beautiful.
Because I'm so acutely familiar with your merchandise collection because we spent so long at each other's houses, and we did a similar thing where each of us had like a portion of our bedrooms attributed to like a shrine
On the walls
of all our stuff.
covered. They were just blue tack everywhere.
I hope kids still do like posters nowadays.
Yeah,
because
I'm sure they do.
And that's what I mean about that physical realm. We would cut things out of, so we would both get things like Kerrang for music. So our images of bands when we loved like emo music and rock bands and everything were physically cut out of Kerrang. You couldn't like print these off from the internet. This was like
no, or if
predates
you could,
that.
you'd have to like do it at school or something.
Yeah,
No, you were definitely anything that you could get hold of, and sometimes magazines would have like fold out posters. So like I used to get Empire magazine for years. Still, I actually had to get rid of some of them because I thought like maybe I could like sell these on eBay. Turns out nobody wants them, but I've kept like the key ones and the ones that have like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and Pirates of the Caribbean covers and also posters and things in the middle.
Yeah, that's right. They would do especially when it got to something like Return of the King, there would be an Empire special edition. That's right. And they even had things like, I think I bought several of it because they had different covers. Like different characters had different covers, and that was a huge deal. And they had a fold out middle section. That's entirely right. I'm trying to think what other merch I had acquired.
Anything you got for Christmas?
Well, and you and I just loved a gift shop. So there would be things like when we went to see Wicked the billion times that we did, we each acquired one of the different wands.
Yeah.
And having T-shirts from our obsessions was a big deal. We had a lot of T-shirts from like the bands.
That was an easy Christmas present.
Very easy Christmas present.
Yeah, buy a T-shirt with a particular obsession on the front.
Yep, that's totally right. Or all these different books. And we even had things like the Harry Potter. We had a lot of ones that were like quiz related. So like the Harry Potter trivia quiz book that we would bring
or like board games, like easy board games and things that were themed around Harry Potter or something.
And we could bring these on like school trips with us. This is probably why no one wanted to sit with us on the bus, because everyone at the front would be like listening to their new iPod, and we'd be at the back with a little collection of people doing the like 1,000 questions from the Harry Potter trivia book. People thought, let's give them a wide berth.
All right. Well, on that note, shall we end our episode today with me attempting to sing through this list?
Oh my God.
I'm going to do it.
Right, okay, good luck with this.
Brace myself. 12 tons of merchandise, 11 Muppets acting, 10 from Len, 9 Love Actually storylines, 8 Friends Are Frolicking, 7 Harry Potter films, 6 Doctor Who's, 5 125,600 minutes, 4 Christmukkah episodes, 3 Rings for the Elven Kings, 2 decent movies, and 1 true love.
Wow, that's going in the Hall of Fame forever. Oh my God.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everyone. You've been listening to the Fangirl Diaries. Follow us on Instagram at Fangirl Diaries Pod.
And do share us with any of your friends that you think might enjoy the podcast, and rate or review us on Spotify or Apple Music.